Good afternoon. Thinking more about the sort of video I would like to watch rather than the sort of video I self indulgently like to make. I will keep this short. Two purchases. One, not an interesting game, and one I've had a couple times before, maybe only once before when it came out. Super Mario Galaxy. There were actually two copies of this in CX. I think there have been for a while. One did not today, and maybe it was the same copies before. It didn't have an instruction manual, so I was like, and the other one was filthy. Had all this brown stuff on all over the cover of it. But the instruction manual was apparently clean. So, and they're both the same price because there's not any like grade difference for having an instruction manual for games like this. I don't really know if they do mint for, plastic cased kind of games. I'll clean that off probably later. So I said, do you mind if I just take the manual from this other one? And they're like, that's fine. Didn't make a difference to them. So it's got a manual, which is fine. I got this when it came out, and I was in high school at the time, and a friend of mine got it at the same time, and we kind of raced each other to complete it 100%. And he beat me by like one day. He fluked getting a star that really eluded me. I remember it was down in the bottom of an underwater level, the bottom of a kind of underwater section. So it has a bit of a mixed reputation, I think, these days. Something I wasn't really aware of at the time, but which sort of dawned on me not long after playing the game. It doesn't have this kind of sandbox, almost open world platformer sort of feeling that the levels in Mario 64 and even Sunshine have. It's all these very small environments, which seems kind of the opposite of what was exciting about 3D Mario in the first place. Even the 2D Mario games, I suppose it's difficult. You solve platforming problems on a micro scale, I suppose, always anyway. So it's one screen at a time. Maybe it doesn't really matter, but felt a little bit more disconnected and less adventurous, less playful somehow. But maybe that's all just academic. Might still be a great game. And I never played Mario Galaxy 2. So, and it's got Yoshi in it. So, we'd give that a go at some point soon as well. So, this is the thing I actually went into the shop for, because I saw this there yesterday and didn't really have time to buy it without feeling rushed, and I don't like feeling rushed. This is, and I'm just testing to see whether I can get a blemish off the cartridge. No, that's fine. The label's in pretty good nick. It's got a couple dents, scratches, things like that, but not much. Streets of Rage. Now, I actually haven't owned this game on its own. We had, and my sister now has, Mega Games 2, which had Streets of Rage, Golden Axe, and Revenge of Shinobi on it. Great selection. And we played it a lot when I was younger. And it's like quite a fun game, but I think the thing that it was, a guy on Instagram, did somebody say retro, or maybe his PVM account where he posts loads of stuff with these fancy Sony monitors. He posted a couple screenshots of Streets of Rage on one of his screens. And it looked absolutely gorgeous. A very like lush, well, not lush, no, very kind of moody skyline scenes. And it reminded me, I kind of instantly had the music playing in my head. It made me think about There's something about Mega Drive. This is a half-formulated version of what I think I'll post when I'll do an Instagram post about this tomorrow. And I think what the thing running about my head is something about Mega Drive. The games I'm not as interested in, the kind of gameplay and the style of game design that it represents is never as much my kind of thing as with Nintendo, or around the time of the PlayStation when we get that far. But there's something about the tone and some of the music and the art direction, maybe, and just the whole, something less concrete than the games themselves. Their window dressing, perhaps, their design, the mood they capture. There's something. I'm tempted to say that Sega and the Mega Drive kind of captured a zeitgeist more and tapped into this. I mean, I don't even know how to describe it, but I suppose it's the same thing that nostalgically and retrospectively things like Vaporwave point towards this, and this kind of retro, these kind of retro cultures in general, that was capturing at the time, that it's hard to say was very apparent on the Super Nintendo. Less about capturing a kind of a fashionable moment in the world, and more about dreaming up totally different stuff. Mario, Zelda. It's more fantastical, maybe. Even something like, obviously not grounded as Sonic was very much tapping into this. Something about the culture at the time. And although this is a bit of a cliche, it does sit nicely with the idea that Nintendo kind of go their own way. And that's probably more interesting in a kind of substantial way. But looking back, certainly, and just on its own terms, there's something very nice about how of its time and place and all the rest of it, some of the just the tone of a game like this, the music, the look of it, and maybe that's true of the Mega Drive in general, more so than the Super Nintendo. And that's all I'll say for that. More engaged with the Instagram at the moment, trying to do a bit more of that, I suppose, in terms of these things. So I'll keep the video short. Cheers.